Okay.
And we training on something else.
September. Yeah.
But if you look from,
Oh, that's.
well, we're in dangerous and then they.
But on everything, I'll be able to,
Okay.
turn it off, I'll play, I'll change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you learn too.
But we can precise side by and space to that, so that give you a thing about it. That's great.
Yeah, yeah, if you have close air support, it's one thing, but you got that air support ceiling. Too close.
It's not close to really. It's not.
Right.
It's not.
It's over the streets.
Yeah.
Start.
No, it's,
Yeah.
This was, it's on SOG. Hour to hour.
yeah.
What the?
That's just.
Well, you have air.
You always.
Those.
I'm gonna add one of those, just to keep here. Okay. Find the house.
Yeah. Yeah, the best one is just A10's commissioners, most, and I'm like, it's not the answer to super bad. Those things are going to be so very we hear A10's got a different sound. It's like, yeah, that. Cool, I'm training next well fun.
Well, I mean, he's. The cycle that is not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, try.
Yes, it's active enough for that.
Wait 10 seconds. Are you ready, Lynn? Session of Dune City Council regular session of November 20th, 2024, session at 6 p.m. Roll call, Lila, I think the only one missing is the name.
And Rich,
Oh, and Rich.
mayor's excused. Yeah, no excuse.
Thank you. Would y'all stand for the pledge of allegiance? Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Anyone have any changes to make to the agenda?
I do, I amended it today. Basically, because we knew that the mayor was not gonna be here, so I changed it to Council President Snow. And then also, on number 9, the public hearing for Mr. Clayton, you'll see a letter on the dice. He is asked, to delay until January.
Okay. We have a motion.
Move to, set the agenda.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We have a consideration of the consent agenda, which includes the minutes of 2 meetings, the bills and receipts, and the profit and loss statement.
Will you accept the consent agenda?
Third. All in favor?
Aye.
It's approved. Do we have any announcements? No. We have no announcements. You have no announcements, okay. Now it's our time for citizen input for items not on the agenda. Geneva, do you have any?
May I ask, now, when the water one comes up, we're able to talk there, right?
we're going to be able to speak about the water. It's on the agenda for, under old business.
Right, for the water ordinance, is what you're talking about?
Yes. Okay, well, I do have something to say that's not on. Okay, so. As long as I'm able to talk about the water later, that's fine. Dear council, I would like to discuss a recent practice of the city in which documents such as ordinance and blog postings are posted on the city website and declared emergencies. This was the case for the nuisance ordinance, the water ordinance 231A, and a job announcement for a code enforcement officer. I have family members who have served in the military as well as in the fire service, and some are currently EMT paramedics. They know what qualifies as an emergency, and to use the word regarding possible changes in legislation as an emergency is not only misleading but disrespectful. As a final observation, why was the code enforcement position up for such a short period of time? As far as if I count the times that there were holidays and whatever, there's only 7 days that people could have been not accepting anything but that isn't that by email, and you're only accepting letters from people walking it in. That's I guess the long and short of it is, you guys feeling the job from within? I mean, do you want people to apply or no? That's all I have to say.
Thank you, appreciate your comments. Jeannie, do you have anything?
No, okay. Just, I have a lot of the same concerns, about water and other things that are on the agenda, and I guess if we're talking about that later, I will talk about that later.
Okay. Thomas? No. Mr. Snow? Okay, let's move on. Mayor's report. Well, the mayor's not here tonight. He didn't tell me he had anything, so I have no mayor's report. Permit report is in the back, right?
Yeah.
Saw that. So we had 2 more applications for terminals. And,
Those were for last month.
Yes, that's the 29.
it is the 13th, October 15th to November 15th. And we had 3, 7, 9, 11, 12 permits and 1 new build. And 8 renewals, is that correct?
That's right.
I'll make sure I understand all your shorthand.
I just wanted to make it clear that we're still at 29 though, so that those 2 included the numbers that we were talking about last month on the short-term rentals.
Except
We're not going to 31. Yeah, it's still 29.
because I looked at that and said, that more or less, and forgot to ask, so thank you. All right. We had a public hearing tonight for, with, Mr. Jack Claycomb. He has sent us a letter and asked for a continuance until the 15th of January, 2025. So, was anybody here to speak, in that public hearing? Okay, if, you did come for it, we do apologize that, he at the last minute did, decide to delay. So you can, if you have comments, please come back on the 15th of January. If you cannot make it on the 15th of January, please send a note or letter to the city and we will make sure that that's in the records for that night. Do any council members have any questions on that?
Well, it's 60 days out. Is that standard for continuance? It seems really long.
That's what he asked for.
Okay.
We did not ask for that, he did.
But we don't do it. There's no set rule. It could be 15, 30, or it's just subjective to whatever.
Well, our ordinance says that we have to give him due process as soon as possible. He has asked for the delay, so we can delay to whatever fits his schedule.
Okay.
And does that delay in the daily penalty?
No, because basically, we,
Yeah, you have some.
I capped him at 15,000.
Is he aware that they're gonna continue?
He is aware he has that, invoice.
Has he made any effort to pay that first?
No. And the first invoice has been sent to collections, and he is aware. I'm sure he's received something to that effect.
So he's not gonna be continuing to incur new costs.
No.
In the meantime.
No, because we capped it.
Right, that sounds, that's what he's saying.
Will there be an end date as to when we're not going to allow any further continuances?
I would say January is it. Because his first letter, well, with the letter that you have in your packet says December. Yeah, when we called him on the phone, he said January. So,
I think this is probably the
This
second,
is it.
if not third continuance that we provided this individual.
yes, so, I think he has till January and we'll see what, hopefully he'll come then and, do his, give us his, side of the story and his evidence.
Did we ever hear back from, the attorney in regards to if we were going to be able to obtain?
We did. And, I was gonna say, talk about that later, but.
Okay.
We can, we'll just do it now since we're, in that. Our attorney has said that, we incur too much liability to get on the property to correct it.
At all.
Yes. So he advised against it.
We might consider being a bit more firm to, I guess it's kind of lean here about January 5th. It's not take a look in January and vote.
I didn't say take a look at
I
it.
didn't say,
I think January 5th, they have spoken to the mayor on it. That's a question that I will talk to the mayor about.
okay,
I think Lila and I agree with that, but I would not say anything for certain without talking to the mayor.
okay.
Okay, moving on. Old business. This is the water ordinance. And the discussion that came up was a clarification from the water master on the Woking watershed. And that is in your packet. He says that Duke City holds 3 use rights and all 3 list Woking as the source. So Woking water was first diverted through Woking Creek into Siltcoos Lake where the Crooks diverted into their private system. And so using the term Woking, she says, is correct to use for the ordinance. Council have any discussion about that?
I think there was a general consensus, not only from the audience, but from perhaps a couple of counselors in regards to having Susan do it because there were any questions. Was that ever able to be obtained at meeting?
I'm sorry, repeat that question.
There was a general consensus from the audience and perhaps a few council members that requested to have a meeting with Susan Do It here, maybe like a public meeting where questions could be asked of her. Was that ever?
I was not told about that, so no, I've not asked. I don't think it'd be an issue. She's been out here before. She's met with myself and the mayor and then myself personally, so I can ask her for sure. I know she's currently not in the office, she's out for a few weeks, so, maybe by the next meeting,
I would still like to continue. And I think that the due diligence questions need to be answered or asked from our audience directly to her and hearing her answers versus interpretations. She's the representative of the water. And I believe in the best interest, it would need to be her answering those questions. I imagine constituents out there have that request or have those concerns.
Okay, I'm, just know we had the one question that I had written down that I know was answered. Other counselors? Major comments.
It's a good idea.
I'm ready to go with it.
Okay.
Wording, like,
Okay, so I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to continue.
comment?
None if we're gonna continue.
Okay.
I'll make the motion for continuance all night in regards to meeting with Susan Stewart.
Okay,
Second.
all right. We'll put it on, whenever you can get Susan back on then.
Okay.
We put it be at one of our normal meetings, that way the people can prepare their questions.
Yeah.
So perhaps can they just be told about their questions for the next meeting?
Well, she's gonna be gone for a few weeks, so I
She's
think
gonna
we
be gone,
need
so
time.
I don't know when
We
she's.
need to find out when she's gonna be here. Okay, thank you for that. Moving on to short-term rental resolution. That is in here because we made some changes. We actually put a number in there and 35. So with it, there being a number in there and the fees are in there now. So if that reads as to what was talked about at the last session, that's what we have to discuss and to make a motion on tonight for action. Any of the councilors have anything?
Can you remind me, is 35 what percentage?
5.
They're around 5, yeah. Without-
Any discussion?
As we discussed.
Okay, then I will need a motion to accept this.
I still move.
They can offer city to put it as county or skip it.
Yeah, this is just,
Okay.
Still move.
do you have a second?
Well, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move to end. Motion. So that's all we have for tonight. Was accepting that resolution that we talked about in the last work session that we took public comment on at that time. So do any of the councilors have anything for the good of the order? Joe, let's start with you.
Yeah, I have a question. Rich is here. What are we doing about Silkus' water level? Because we're already over our seawall coming up for a lawn.
Correct.
I was gonna ask you that.
We were gonna talk to them about that. but-
Same here.
It's not, it got, went up 6 inches today.
That's what my son said the exact thing.
System level,
They need to open another gate or a half gate or something.
it's,
So yeah, all
I'm driving on, it's quite cool.
yeah. I thought Rich said last meeting that all 4 in a row. and-
He did.
Really?
But that doesn't mean they didn't change it 30 minutes.
Yeah.
No,
He could have closed a few.
No, I don't agree. The water's not flowing that way. It's going.
The water is slow.
When they're open, it rushes.
Yeah.
But
So-
I wish he was here to answer that.
We will ask and find out. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Melissa, do you have anything?
No, ma'am.
Chris?
I do not.
Okay, I do not have anything, so, show this meeting on record. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, I adjourn this meeting at 6:18. Thank you all.
That's right.
Sections.
That's why I just do it. What?